So today we're going to do a one sheet wonder. I have a sheet of 12 by 12 here, and this is what we're going to make. If you can see, it has a pocket here and a pocket here and a pocket here, but then I also put in a couple of extra little tucks as well. I'm Cindy. Welcome to my channel. And for this project, you are going to need a 12 by 12 sheet. I used a thinner paper on here. I didn't like it, so I'm trying this time with a thicker piece of cardstock. This was a thinner piece that's not really cardstock. It's kind of like computer paper weight. And I decided it was too thin. So this will end up going into my idea book because it was my first one. I tried it up just to see how it worked. I kind of liked it. I did some different things on here that I'm not going to do on here. We'll talk about that as we go along. So you need your paper. You're going to need some glue. I use Fabri-Tac, but really art glitter glue or PVA glue will probably work just fine. And then scissors and or a cutting board. So it's easy. We're going to start. I'm going to flip it over and I am going to, the first thing I'm going to do is fold it in half. Easy to do. Just a quick fold in half. And then I'm going to fold it into thirds. And this is, now this particular paper is cracking a little bit. So you may have to play around with the kind of paper that you're using. Okay. I'm only going to thumb do this one rather than use the credit card on it. And there we go. So the next thing you do, so we folded it in half and then we folded it in thirds. Now, can you measure this? Absolutely. If you would prefer to have more exact measurements, go right ahead and measure it. I just kind of have a tendency to fold it over in thirds and then press. All right. And now you're going to make you're going to make a very narrow cut. You're cutting on either side of your fold. And on this one, I only cut once, but it is kind of getting in the way. So I'm going to cut twice here. So I cut on that side of my fold, and then I'm going to cut on this side of my fold. And I'm going to cut a very thin line off. And I realize that that's kind of in my way and hard to see. If this is easier for you to do with an X-Acto knife, use an X-Acto knife. Take that off. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this one. I'm going to cut on either side of my fold. Basically what this does is when you fold it over again as a portfolio, it takes a little bit of the bulk out. And you can see that I'm not a very straight cutter. If this is easier for you to do with a guillotine or a cutter, that's your option. So see, now when I fold it over, I've got a little bit of a gap here, and that allows for more easier folding. If you notice on this one, and I'll try to hold it up, you can see that I didn't put that gap in there, and it bent my paper over. So we're going to go with the gap. All right. I'm going to put a thumb notch in this one. Again, if you want to measure it, feel free. I tend to eyeball things. So there's my thumb notch. And then this one I'm going to cut in half-ish. I'm going to turn it this way so it's easier to do. And it's 6 inches. I'm going to cut it at about 3 inches. So I have this here. Now you will notice on this one, I'm going to pull that out so you can see better. This one, I folded it up and I rounded the edges and I liked how that looked, but then I put this piece, this was the piece that I cut off. I put it back on because I didn't want all the white space. This one I'm going to go with the white space because I don't like how that looked. So I'm going to save this. That'll make a nice journal card. I am going to round my edges because I like how that looked. So I'm going to round that edge, and I'm going to round this edge. Then I'm going to round this edge, and I'm going to save that for a minute. We're going to hold off on that for a second. Okay. Put that back in there where it belongs. All right, now I do want a thumb notch here. On this one, I used just a little thumb notch. I think I like the bigger thumb notch. So I'm going to go back, and this is my 1.5 inch. If you have something that you prefer, probably a 1 inch would be better, but I don't have a 1 inch. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now that piece is set. And then there's this piece. Now this piece I found easier to do with my cutter, because I don't know why, it just was easier to do this with my cutter than it was to certainly to do it with my scissors, because I'm not going to get a straight line with my scissors. And I'm just going to go from point to point. I left a little bit here. I don't know if you can see it. My fold is here. I'm not going all the way to the fold. I'm leaving just a little bit. I'm going to take that piece off, and that can be something else. Again, on my prototype, I took that piece, I flipped it over, and I put it there, and then I didn't like it. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And now I'm all made. That's the basis. That's the basics. We're just going to glue it down. Before I glue it down, however, I am going to take a minute, and I am going to distress all of my edges. I did not do that with the other one until later, and I discovered that after you glue it down, it's very hard to distress anything. So I'm going to go ahead and pause my camera. I'm going to take a minute and distress all of these edges, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. I used Distress Oxide Vintage Photo for this, but you can use whatever fits, whatever your project is or your preferences are. So I've distressed everything. I've distressed all my edges. I also kind of fixed this. I was a little wonky over here. All right, now we're just going to glue things up, and that's the easy part. We're just going to do a little bit of glue here and here for this pocket. This has planes on it, so I think this would be good for a travel journal. And we're going to close this one up. Now, you could absolutely do 3 deep pockets like this. You could do 3 like that. You could do 3 that look like that. This is really has a lot of options. I'm choosing to do 1 of each just because I want the variety, and it makes it easy to show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is an easy use of a 12 by 12 where you don't really lose much. Now, like I said, I could absolutely take this and put this here and make that part of the back. Same thing over here, but I'm going to choose not to do that this particular time. In fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and put this here. Let me take a minute and ink that up. Let's do something wacky. There we go. Come on. Put my top on my glue, because I have this. Now I could do it this way as well, but then my planes, see, my planes are they're really kind of all over the place. So the fact that some of these are going to be upside down really doesn't bother me, because when I decorate it, you're not going to tell anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and use this particular piece as an extra pocket. There are so many ways to vary this. It's a very simple, very basic fold. I'm just going to make sure that I don't go all the way over to the edge, because again, I want that to be able to fold over. So I'm going to come in this way. And now I have a pocket, a pocket, a pocket, a pocket. So let's take a few minutes and decorate this. I'm going to grab my some of these things, and maybe I'll use that one over here. I just have a bunch of these that are around. So this one, I put a bunch of them down and made tuck spots. You know, so you could tuck that in like that. Let me grab my tickets and I'll be right back. I do have these tickets in blue, but I don't have, the blue is not the same color blue. So we're not going to worry about that. We're going to go with the brown. And I have printed some that are fairly large in size. That might be too large. Oh, I like that one. That would make a nice piece for there. And something about that size, but I don't know that I want that one there. That's another printer's engraving. That one's very large. Again, some of these are really big, and I love how big they are, but they'll make nice tags. So we're going to hold that one out. I'm going to hold that one out. Let's see if we do that one there. We could do this one here. I like that. And we got printers and maybe something bigger. There we go. All right. Let's just put these here, take a minute, and well, it looks like this one's already been done, so it doesn't require much. So these tickets came from the Junk Journal Studio. She has them in so many different colors. I have them in purple and blue and green and yellow and red. Yeah, I really like them and I use them often because they're, well, one, they're pretty, and two, they're easy to use. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make these as tags, tuck spots again. So just a little bit of glue there to there. And I'm actually going to bring this over a little bit because I don't want to put too much bulk. Oops, I just kind of goofed that up a little bit. I now have a little bit of too much glue. Let me grab a thing here. Take out some of that glue. There we go. I don't want to put too much bulk in the middle because I want to be able to fold this over. So we're going to make this one a pocket. Make that a full pocket. There we go. And I don't know, that one's kind of big. I think it's going to be okay. Don't want it so big. Let me see what else I've got in here. Let me just double check before I go ahead and glue that down. Let me see if I've got something else I might prefer. There we go. Let's do this, and we'll do this as a tuck spot. So we're just going to put glue on this side of it. And then put it down. And this one's already been, a lot of these I went ahead and pre-distressed back when I was recovering from my surgery. This is what I did. I spent a lot of time cutting things out and using them up. That did not stick. There we go. Okay, so now I can put, I've got a couple cards here. So that one won't fit there. It'll fit here very nicely. This one is the wrong blue. That'll make a nice piece to tuck right in the side there. Okay, so we can fill that up. Now do you want to do the front and the side? I'm going to leave my back empty because I'm going to want to slide this into a pocket or into a belly band. So anything I put on the front, on both of these fronts, is going to be skinny, thin. I do not want anything thick because as soon as I put something thick down there, I no longer have, I'm going to catch it on things, and it's going to be a bit of a problem. So I'm just going to take this one and a little bit of glue stick over here. I have my glue stick. I've got stuff everywhere. Let me put my scissors away. Use a little bit of glue stick. Now on the one that's going into my idea book, I did not do the front yet. Let me grab that again. I didn't do the front or the back because it's just going to go into my idea book as a reminder that I can do this sort of thing. I lost my tag that goes in there. There we go. That I was putting there. So we'll put that in there. And there we go. That's ready for my glue book. Okay, I think I'm going to leave it like that because I don't know what I might want to use it in. And I think I'll probably put a sentiment over here. But since I don't know what kind of sentiment I want to put in there, I'm going to wait on it. And then, is that the same thing as the other one? No, this is not the same, but I like the different style. And I'm going to, again, keep it down here so that I can put a sentiment. Because I'm kind of keeping with the theme. They're all kind of at the bottom. We're going to keep it with the theme. So by the time you are watching this, I will be in Mexico. I will be in San Miguel de Allende. I am looking forward to a vacation down there. But I will have all of these videos uploaded for you so that you won't even know that I am gone. I'm going to put that back in there. I will decorate this up at some point and slide it right in there. And there we go. A one-sheet wonder, little pocket portfolio, something to go into your journal just to make something a little bit extra special. If you are enjoying these videos, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, click the like button to let YouTube know that you like them, and click the bell if you want notifications. And I will probably be doing some posts from Mexico, but no videos, just posts. So if you have not yet joined my Facebook group, make sure you do so because I will be doing a travelogue. If you want to see what we're doing or what's going on, there'll be lots of videos or lots of pictures and text and stories and whatnot on my YouTube page, or sorry, on my Facebook page. All right, till later, this is Cindy signing off.